Hey everyone, it's Drummond. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you haven't already, make sure you click the subscribe button and turn on that notification bell so you know whenever I'm posting my next video. So the first thing I want to say is thank you so much for everyone who has been so supportive of me over all of my different platforms. I have been growing so much on my different social media platforms, and it is all of you that I want to thank for that, because you have shared my stuff, you have liked it, you have commented and given me ideas for more content, and I appreciate that. I do want to say that in the link down below, I do have a Patreon account that I have started, and I would really appreciate it if you all subscribe to my Patreon. There are several different tiers, and honestly, all of them you will get something special, and you'll also be able to personally message me. I message everyone back that messages me on my Patreon, no matter which tier you choose. Also, since this video is all about building your brand, I want to let you know that in the link down below as well, there is a place where you can sign up for my newsletter, and I will be sending out emails, not too many, but I will be sending out emails about seminars that I am going to be training soon, and one of those is building your brand online. That can be for a brick and mortar store, that can be for an online creator platform, or if you have your own online business like I do, I am going to create a seminar that kind of helps everyone kind of understand what I've learned from all the seminars that I've gone to, as well as all the books that I've read on how to build your platform. You'll either be able to purchase the PDF of the seminar, or you can sign up for the seminar itself. And also, I'll be working with a couple people to personally build your brand with my help, along with the seminar and the PDF, to make sure that you are 100% successful at growing your audience online. But that's all the promoting I'm going to be doing in today's video. So the first thing I want to say is that when it comes to building your platforms online, you really want to know why you're doing it. And if to become famous is the reason that you are trying to gain followers online, I will tell you right now that that is not a good reason, and you will fail. As you all can see, I'm wearing a shirt that says, "I'm famous enough," and for that, I want to tell everybody that when it comes to the content that you're creating, from day one, you need to be creating content with the same intent as what you would be doing if you had 1 million followers on whatever platform you're creating content for. And the reason I say that is because you want to build an audience based upon the creations that you want to create in the future. And if you're creating things in the beginning saying, "Oh, I'm never going to grow. Oh, I'm not famous. No one cares about the content I make," then you're not going to be able to build an audience. Versus if you're creating content with the dream of one day being the next Oprah, then your content is going to pull in all the audience that your content is going to be made for in the long run. For everyone that's been following my different social media platforms, you would have noticed that my Instagram took off in 2020. I was sitting somewhere around almost 1,000 followers at the beginning of 2020. And then as 2020 kind of progressed, my platform kind of started taking off. And there's a lot of different things that I did as a content creator that really helped it do that. And of course, there are things that are out of your control as a content creator, but there's also a lot of things that you can control. And those are the things that I want to teach you how to do in today's video. So the first thing that I think everyone needs to know when it comes to building an online brand is the fact that you need to be very intentional with the content that you're creating. I think a lot of times people look at content creators and assume that we're just posting because, oh, we want people to like our stuff. Oh, we want people to see us online. But the trick is that the successful content creators are the ones that are creating with intent. So when it came to my platform, I knew that my content was geared towards the LGBT community, specifically the male community, because I am a gay male in the LGBT community. So therefore, that's going to be the audience that I am serving. So for me, my intent was, what type of brands can I work with to kind of build my platform when it comes to collabing with other people? What are other content creators that are performing for the same audience doing on their platforms? And you start to kind of ask yourself those questions, and that kind of starts to build how frequently should you be posting. For me personally, I realized that when it came to the different hours of the day, there were certain hours that if I posted something, I got a lot of engagement, which is really important when it comes to building online presence, because at the end of the day, the algorithm decides who's going to be big and who's not going to make it. And if you can't put yourself into the algorithm, then your content is not going to help you grow online. Also, being aware that there are things that you can do as a content creator that makes your content more shareable and more likable is also very important. So when it comes to looking at other content creators' platforms, you do want to realize that you don't have to recreate the wheel. I know that it's important to be unique, but realize that you can kind of create stuff that's similar to other people and put your spin on it so that people go, oh, I really love this content because it's similar to this person, but hey, they're doing it in a very interesting, unique way. Because if you try to start from scratch, if you try to recreate the wheel, there's a big chance that you're not going to make it. Because when it comes to human interactions, people follow what they know. People feel safe when they are surrounded by things that are familiar to them. So if you create something that's completely different than everyone else, then it's going to be really hard for people to kind of trust your brand. And I think that this is something that I pointed out to a lot of people in my positive talks is when it comes to working with content creators, when it comes to working with someone who's got millions of followers versus someone who's got very similar following to you, it's a lot easier for you to convince these people, hey, let's collab so that we can kind of build our audiences and combine our efforts to kind of grow our platforms, versus if you're talking to someone that's a lot higher up or further along in their process of building their platform, these people have a lot more to lose if you decide to start building a video that you say is going to be this type of content, and then you shift and create different type of content that could negatively impact their brand later. Whereas for me, like with my positive talks that I've been doing with so many different people, I started off with one of my really close friends and then started asking some of my other friends that were also content creators that had different followings than my own. And then I kind of started building my brand at that point. And then after I've created over 150 episodes now, when it comes to reaching out to larger people who might be at a celebrity status or a large influencer status, they have 150 episodes to look at and kind of look and see if I'm someone that they want to kind of wrap their brand around, because every single person that you interact with online, every single comment you leave, every single picture you like online builds the type of brand that you are creating for the world to see. So you want to make sure that you create with intention, because if you are just kind of going, oh, look, a tree, that's cute, take a picture. Oh, look, a cat, that's cute. Oh, look, a political post, let's share this. Oh, look at that meme, that's kind of funny. But it doesn't ever kind of align with a similar message, then people are just going to look at your content as if it's just kind of chaotic and everywhere. And building a brand online is not going to work for you if your brand doesn't have like a streamline of, hey, these are my core values, this is my message, this is my goals that I'm aiming for. Because personally, I know that when it comes to the accounts that I've followed, I want to make sure that if my followers see me following this person, that they go, oh, their values align, because our image is built around the people that we surround ourselves with. And sometimes that's hard. Sometimes you want to be able to support a friend, but if their brand is so off-brand from yours, then you might want to rethink how you kind of collaborate with that person specifically. Something else that I think is really important when it comes to building your presence online is having goals and understanding the steps that you have to take to get there, because it makes it so much easier when you're choosing brands to collaborate with or other influencers to collaborate with, or if you're trying to create a reel or videos or whatever platform you're on. If you're trying to create something, if you understand your goal and your destination and the steps that you plan on taking, don't be so narrow-minded to think that there's only one way to get there. Be open-minded. And also, when it comes to having a goal, make sure that you're letting the world know that this is your goal. So for me, I'm trying to build my Patreon account because I believe that that's a great way for me to be able to make some type of income while I'm doing things that aren't making me income, because YouTube doesn't pay us that much when it comes to AdSense. But when it comes to supporters that kind of are able to support me, whether it's with $5 a month or $25 a month, it helps me at the end of the day when it comes to working on projects that don't pay me. So for me, I am putting a lot of effort into my Patreon account right now, as well as the seminars that I'm going to be training when it comes to building your brand or moving towards self-love. And I know that those are kind of my core focuses right now, and kind of moving towards those goals are important to me. But if the world doesn't know that that's what you're moving towards, then how can anyone give you advice to kind of help you along your way? Because you may think that this is the one way to get to your goal, and then you run into a door that's locked and you have no idea how to unlock it. Whereas if you had told the world, hey, these are my goals, this is what I'm doing, these are the struggles I've come up against, these are my successes, maybe someone will be like, hey, like, I went down that hallway with these types of things and there's a lock on the door that needs this type of key, so here you go. And that's just like the information that you'll need to kind of level up on your platform or with your business. So it's so important for you to realize that, hey, I want to be this when I get older. Hey, I want this to be what my platform represents when it grows. And the more that you kind of put that out into the universe, the more people are going to be able to drop gems into your toolbox saying, hey, you'll need this. It was helpful to me. Hopefully it's helpful to you. And be aware that not everyone's advice needs to be taken. There are some people who have given me advice on how to grow or get more followers, and it was a little bit off-brand for who I was as a person. So it wasn't something that I took into consideration. I appreciated the advice that it helped them on their journey, but it wasn't something that I was willing to add to my toolbox to help me on my journey. So I think that with that type of information, I think that anyone can really grow their platforms. And like I said, I'm going to be creating a seminar where I create a PDF workbook that you can fill out to kind of help you gain a little bit more of a sense of what your brand is and what the next steps should be for you creating content and building your brand online, as well as the seminar that I'm going to be teaching where I kind of go along with the workbook as well as add additional things into it to kind of help you understand what your brand is and why it's important to kind of create certain guidelines and structure for yourself when you're growing as an influencer online. And like I said before, feel free to follow the link down below. I've got a newsletter that I'm going to be putting out. I'm going to try to keep it to 1 or 2 emails a month, so I'm not flooding your inboxes with emails. But with that newsletter, I will be dropping when that PDF is launched, when those seminars are going to start, as well as you can check out all my positive talks that I've been doing on Instagram. And just to let you all know, I do have some really cool projects coming up with my Instagram lives, kind of moving away from the positive talk series and kind of starting a new series that I'm super excited about. So hopefully you all will go follow me on Instagram and check out all my other social medias as well. Like I said, the Patreon is going to have a lot of really cool stuff as well. And I'm going to be doing some discounts when it comes to my seminars if you are following me and supporting me on Patreon. So definitely make sure you go check that out. Like always, love you all so much, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.